Good morning, class. Today we are going to learn about ratio, and whereby we know that ratio, it is comparing or dividing things according to the number of people or the number of items that you have. For example, today we are going to, in class 7 we are taught how to write ratio into simplest form. For example, you have the ratio of 4:8. This is how we write the ratio, 4:8. You read it as 4:8. But when writing it, you write as 4:8. Now, to write this ratio as a simplest form, you just divide the 4 and 8 by the greatest common divisor. The greatest common divisor that can divide 4 and 8, it is 4. So you divide both sides by 4. Because you want to get the simplest ratio that you can get from 4 and 8. So you divide by 4, that is by 4, 1, by 4, 1, by 4, 1, by 4, 2. So our simplest form will be 1:2. That is the simplest form that we are going, the simplest ratio that we are going to get from 4:8. That is how you convert a ratio into simplest form. Another example, if you are given example 2, is that if you have a ratio of 8:12, you have been told to write the ratio into simplest form. Now, I have just said that you look at the greatest common divisor that can divide 8 and 12, or the two numbers that you have been given. For example, here you have been given 8 and 12. The greatest number that can divide 8 and 12, it is 4. So you divide both sides by 4. So by 4, 1, by 4, 2, by 4, 1, by 4, 3. So the simplest ratio that you can get from 8:12 will be 2:3. That is the simplest form. So that is how you write ratio into its, or you express the ratio into its simplest form. So from this example, that is 8:12, you will get 2:3. Now, that is how you are taught in class 7. That is how to convert the ratio into its simplest form. But now, I want us to look at something else. How to convert the ratio into fraction. For example, in our example 1, we had the ratio 4:8. We have already written it into its simplest form, and we have gotten that the answer will be 1:2. Now, if you want to convert the ratio 1:2 into a fraction, you will just write this. The first number here will be your numerator. The second number, that is 2, will be your denominator. So the fraction that you are going to get from the ratio 4:8 will be 1/2. This is the ratio that we are going to get from, this is the fraction that we are going to get from 4:8. If you look at our example 2, you get we had the ratio 8:12. We have already written 8:12 as a simplest form, which is 2:3. So if you want to convert this ratio into a fraction, I have just said that the first number here, that is 2, will be your numerator. The second number here, 3, will be the denominator. So the fraction that you are going to get from the ratio will be 2:3. Now, you can be told to convert the ratio. Maybe it is the ratio of boys to girls. The ratio of boys to girls. And you want to write to express the ratio of boys to girls. It can be either the ratio of boys to girls or the ratio of boys to the total. You have the ratio as 2:6. You have 2 boys in class 8:6 girls in class 8. That is the ratio of boys to girls in class 8. So if you want to express this one as a fraction, will be 2/6, which in the simplest form will be 1:3, because you divide both sides by 2. So the simplest fraction that you can have is 1:3. But if you want to express the ratio of boys to total, that is to total number of the pupils in that class will be 2 plus 6, which is 8. So that number, the total of the ratio of the total of the number of boys to the total will be 2:8. The ratio girls to total will be that is 6:8. So if you want to convert also this one into a fraction, will be 2/8. That is the fraction of boys to the total number of pupils, and then fraction girls will be 6/8. That is the fraction of boys to girls. Now, you also taught something else in class 7, that is converting the fraction into decimal. Converting the fraction into a decimal. Now, when you want to convert a fraction into a decimal, you just take your fraction as, let us say for example it is 2/6. You want to convert this fraction into a decimal. What you do, you divide the numerator by the denominator. You divide the numerator by the denominator. So you get that 2 divided by 6, if you divide it, it will give you another fractions. So for you to get a decimal, you have to say that 2 divided by 6, it is impossible. So you write a 0. It is impossible, you write a 0. You add a decimal, and when you put that decimal, you add a 0 to the 2 inside here. So 20 divided by 6, you get that you are going to get this 3, whereby you say 3 times 6 we get 18. Subtract, you will get that 0 minus 8 is impossible, so you borrow 1, you get 1 there. 10 minus 2 minus 8, you get 2. You get to see that you have another 2 here, which you continue dividing by 6. So you divide 2 by 6, it is impossible, you add a 0. You also divide 20 by 6, you get this another 0, another 3. 3 times 6, you get 18. So if you continue like that, you have already learned that there are some things that we call recurring decimal, and you are going to get it is a recurring decimal. So your fraction will be 0.33, because even if you continue, there will be 3 without an end. That is what we call a recurring decimal. So that is all what we are taught at class 7, because this is something that you have done in class 7. You have converted ratio into simplest form. You have converted ratio into fraction, and you have already converted the fraction as a decimal. So that is all about what we are taught in class 7.